Super Mario Odyssey review roundup practically perfect. The first reviews are in, and it looks like Super Mario Odyssey isn't merely great, but one of the former plumber's best games yet. Various outlets published their comprehensive reviews of the latest Mario title this morning, and the early consensus suggests Odyssey is so good it may make the Nintendo Switch even harder to find than it currently is. From its inventive gameplay to epic boss battles, this game seems to be tuned to 3D platform adventure perfection. IGN's Ryan McCaffrey awarded Super Mario Odyssey a perfect 10 out of 10 and wrote about the experience as a kind of nirvana, affixing a giant grin to his face. Going further, McCaffrey also notes that Odyssey continues to push the platforming genre, which Mario popularized, further into the future with innovative gameplay. Throughout the entire campaign, you're using new creatures in new, game-changing ways on a regular basis. Ryan McCaffrey, I'm the good, weather thrashing about as a huge, realistic-looking T-Rex in the prehistoric-themed Cascade Kingdom or becoming a lolly Goomba, but then making a stack of Goombas 10 tall to win over a hard-to-impress Lady Goomba. Odyssey mixes up the gameplay in surprising ways in each of its 16-plus worlds. Throughout the entire campaign, you're using new creatures in new, game-changing ways on a regular basis. Odyssey's inspired integration of 2D gameplay, complete with Super Mario Bros. Era 8-bit art, deserves special mention. Each blends pure, weapons-grade retro gameplay with numerous other callbacks, while still mixing things up in ways they never appeared in those original games, such as flipping gravity or wrapping the 2D scene around the corner of a 3D object. They bend the rules so far they go beyond even the most ambitious creations we saw in Super Mario Maker. The end of the New Dying City portion might, in fact, be the very peak of the pleasure that Odyssey delivers on a consistent basis. Its conclusion is a literal celebration that doubles as a figurative one. Odyssey is pure joy that seems to understand and relish that about itself. The drawback to playing on the go is that the tiny screen doesn't do nearly as good a job of showing off the scope and detail of the characters and worlds, such as the funny faces Mario makes when performing certain actions and the tiny 8-bit icons hidden on some walls. Toss Cappy at them to get a quick gold coin reward. Of course, it's every bit as good a game in handheld mode. More best Nintendo Switch games to play now in their review for Polygon's Philip Collar and Allegra Frank rated Super Mario Odyssey a nearly perfect 9.5 out of 10. And while Collar disagrees with IGN's review, saying the Switch's screen is great for this title, these co-reviewers disagreed about the fun of the boss battles. Rediscovering how Mario works is a major part of what makes Odyssey a pleasure, as well as something special. Allegra Frank, Polygon The good Super Mario Odyssey is utterly gorgeous. For whatever people might think about the Switch's relatively underpowered hardware, it doesn't show for a second here. Whether playing on my 4K-capable 65-inch TV or enjoying the game in handheld mode on the Switch's screen, I am constantly impressed by how crisp and colorful its worlds are. Philip Collar, Polygon The thing I love about Mario bosses in general, and these bosses in particular, is that Nintendo is so good at signposting what you need to do to succeed. Philip Collar, Polygon Cappy may once again give Mario a new hat to wear, but the core difference here is that with those hats comes a rediscovery of how both the game and Mario himself work. He's still punching blocks and ground pounding, but he's not physically the Mario we're used to. Rediscovering how Mario works is a major part of what makes Odyssey a pleasure, as well as something special. Allegra Frank, Polygon The battles do sometimes interrupt the more free-flowing nature of the game's collectible hunting segments. While it's novel to see Mario's new powers tested on a grand scale, challenging a boss usually feels less satisfying than finding all of those many moons, like a necessary evil that's getting in the way of the greater good. Allegra Frank, Polygon If you're playing with the Switch's Joy-Con controllers, the motion control moves are pretty easy. But as someone who still regularly experiences distancing problems with the Joy-Cons, I preferred using the Pro Controller or playing in handheld mode. While motion controls still work with both of those setups, they're awkward as hell to pull off. Philip Collar.